Hi guys, this is Bhaskar Berry here. Today I am going to show you the third part of the scenario to concatenate the first name and last name from the source and load it into the target using the expression transformation. So we'll start with the from the beginning. So just open the designer. In the designer, first step is I'm going to load the import the database. Give your credentials to log into the database. Connect to it. So I got the table like source table s underscore employee. We have so many number of columns here and data types and the length of them. Similarly, load the target table. We have target table st underscore employee. Click OK. And before this, I just wanted to show you that these two tables are present in the SQL. So this is a source table, this is a destination table. If you run these both, you get that source table contains 4 records, but destination contains no records here. So we're creating a new mapping here to connect both the source and destinations and use the expression transformation in between them. I'm just giving the naming conventions as m underscore for the mapping, so it will be more readable form. So from the source, you can drag the source table. So we have so many columns here. This is a source qualifier which converts the data type to R Informatica readable form. Okay. So I have a target, even target I'll just drag and drop here. Before connecting to this, okay, I'll connect all the columns to the destination. Here, select all, and you have an option called auto link by name, so that we no need to link each one by individually. So if we do this, it automatically finds his name in the target table and load maps to that. So here we have one more column to map, name and updated on updated by these columns. So what I'll do, I'll just use the expression transformation here. I want to concatenate two names here, both first name and last name. So use the transformation tab here, create, and click on expression transformation, give some name to that. Create. Once it's created, it's done here. You can go here. And here you can drag and drop the, what do you say, the first name, last name here to this. Click on this. So there's a ports here. So what you can do is you can create a new port here to contain both the combined column name. Before this, you can even drag and drop your title also. So add a new column here, new field. Okay, give the name as full name I'm giving. This is end string and change the precision to some 10, 100. And moreover, it's not an input port, so I am removing this, disabling this input port here. So click on this expression. Here we have the expression to write. So we have inbuilt functions, so many functions we have here to automatically use, you can use them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the concatenate function to combine those things. Concatenate. What are the columns I need to concatenate here? So I'll go with the title, comma first name, comma last name. So let me validate this. There's some problem with that, so 1 second, I'll just let you know. Concat. Okay, I got to know this. So here we can concatenate only two strings here. One is title and one is first name. So let me use one more concat. We'll see what happens to that. Concat. Inside this we can concat these things. First name, comma, last name we can give here. Okay. Click OK. So we have the full concatenated name here. And two more columns we are like updated on, updated by. We don't want to give that. So automatically it should be like system generated date. We can use those types to be given by updated on which date it has got updated. So we can add few more columns here. Updated on as a date time. It's not a input port, but it's a definitely output port. We are using the expressions here. We can have system date function here. It's not in this. We have one function like sysdate, which generates automatic date here. So you can okay. The problem is that I have just defined it as a string data type, so that's the reason why I'm not able to see that. Give us date time. Okay, we can use the same thing here. This is date. This is a function which it generates automatically. Okay. And for the updated by, for time being, I'll give the hard coded name. Let it be as a system. Pass a string to that. Validate and click OK. Apply. Okay. So now I can map these expressions into the final target table. So here is a full name. Map this to name here, and updated on to this. Updated by. Once it is done, arrange all iconic. So we can minimize this if you have more thing. So before the saving, validate this mapping. So you can see if there is any errors below in the output window. So no errors. Saying like it's invalid, incompatible data type, field data type string. So there's a problem in the data type which we have mentioned in the expression here. For the full name also we have kept it as a date time, but for the full name you need to be as an end string. apply. Okay, again validate this. Okay, this mapping has valid. So what I can do, I can save this to the repository. Control S I did. And once the mapping is created, we'll create a session to run this mapping. So go to the workflow. So here we can create. Go to the workflow designer. Create a workflow here. Name the workflow. It's best if you give the same naming as the mapping name what we gave with the WF underscore, so that it will be easy for us. We'll come back to these ports later on. The variable, events, metadata extension, scheduler, properties. We'll see this at the later point of time. Click OK. So create a session. So this is a mapping for that session. Click OK and connect these both. Okay, once done, go and edit the source and destination connections where we want to be the source connection value. That is, source is coming from source DB. Target connection value is from the target DB. Okay, and go to here and change the source here. Okay, and target DB. And moreover, if you see in the target DB here, while loading the target load type, we have two types like bulk and normal. What is the difference between these two, bulk and normal? Usually when we keep the bulk, okay, this is to load the huge amount of data like 100 GB, 200 GB. If amount of data is so much, then we go for bulk load. What happens in the bulk load? It won't write into the database log. So that's the reason why it will be faster. But one more disadvantage using the bulk is we cannot roll back the data, since there is no any log written for this type. So it's a very difficult to roll back. Whenever there is some issues, we want to roll back the entire data, so it's not possible in that. So we go for normal load here. Okay, and expression is normal. Okay, apply it and save it. And before saving, validate this task workflow. Workflow is valid, so save it to the repository. So once it's saved, let's run it. There are two ways to run this. You can start workflow from here or else from here, this icon. So before running that, let me check in the tables. So you can see that there is no data here. Okay, I'll just go to the designer. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to just click on this button, and to know this, I'm going to look into the workflow monitor here. Okay, so this is running now. Okay, this got succeeded. If you see how many number of rows it has affected or what it has done, you can go and check here, and you can go check in even the tables also here. If you see here, you can see the concatenated both first name, last name and title. All three has been concatenated here. There's other way to concatenate this full name. I'll show you that later. And even here the updated date on, we give the sys date, that the current date time it has been found, current date, and updated by this is a normal string which we gave here. So it will automatically gets filled in these rows. And the other way to concatenate this string without using a concatenate function, how? I'll just show you that. Go to the expression, here. Without using this, remove the concatenate function, title, give the symbol, dot symbol, again first name, space last name, validate. This is a string, so I'm going to just okay. This is one more way to give that. And more, if you see, if you observe here, the salary, the decimal point, we don't want like one to have more than 2 decimal points here, so we can even restrict that. Go to the designer, redo, new field, new salary, some name I gave here, let it be string here, use some 20. It's not input, output. Go to the expression, and we can go to the data cleansing where we have 2 decimal part. Use that function, salary, comma, how many scale precision, so we need 2, so I'm going to just give that 2 here. Validate this successfully, okay, click ok. So this salary is not going to be, this is going to be the input and this is going to be the output for this. Okay, apply, okay. So one more thing I want to, okay, I just wanted you to show you the how I'm going to map this. So what I'll do, I'll remove the salary which has been mapped to the source qualifier here, and I'm going to map this new salary here. Okay, and validate this before saving. It's valid, so I'm going to save to repository. And here I've used the concatenation, not use the concatenate function. I use this symbol, pipe symbol here. Go to the workflow, and we have no need to change anything here. So I'm just going to save it. See, since there is no changes detected in current active folder, it's asking like, do you want to save it in the same folder like that? So I don't want to save anything here because it's not edited any changes, made changes to this workflow here. So I'm going to run it. We can run it here, or right click and start workflow. Other option we have is in the monitor. You can just go ahead, right click and restart this job or this workflow. So we can see the status still is running. Oh, it got succeeded. So we can see the changes here, the backend here. The first 4 was inserted for the first time, and the second 4 rows were inserted now for the second run, which we gave here. And we can see the salary amount with only 2 decimals point, and we can see the same functionality what was happening in the concatenate can be achieved with the same this thing. Not only this, using the expression transform, we can have we can achieve all these functions. all this we can achieve using the expression transforms, like upper, lower. We can change the converted strings to decimal, to date, convert function, substrings. So so many functions are available here in the expression transformation. And most importantly, it's done by row. Like this performs on row level calculations, not on the group or someone bundle. It's not like that. It goes by row. Okay. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please do subscribe.